Right, welcome back. I'm reading chapter 21 entitled The Blood Clot. If you just stumbled upon this video and this is the first one you come across, I strongly encourage you to go back to the beginning because I've been reading my memoir in sequence, so you'll have the story from the beginning. If you haven't subscribed, please be sure to do so that you know when the next chapter drops. And if you like the story I'm sharing or know someone who might, please like and share this video. And I would love to hear from you in the comments to let me know that you're here, to give me feedback, insights, any thoughts, ideas moving through you as you're following along so that I know you're here and I know what you're thinking. It would mean a lot to me to hear from you. So again, I'm reading chapter 21 and it's entitled The Blood Clot. My cervix falling out was the best way I could describe the issue. Carla cocked her head to one side, raised an eyebrow, and then asked, "Have you ever seen your cervix?" The smugness in her voice made me recoil. My head jerked back as if dodging an invisible blow, and my face twisted in confusion. What kind of question was that? "No," I stammered. "Then how do you know that's what it is?" she asked, her tone condescending, as if explaining manners to a child. Heat rose to my face. "I don't know what it is. That's why I'm asking for advice," I said, struggling to stay calm. Nostrils flaring, I imagined drenching her with a fire hydrant. Did she want me to feel stupid? Because it was working and making me livid. Don't professionals usually extrapolate from a patient's best guess? I clenched my teeth so tightly my jaw ached. Smile and nod. Smile and nod, I reminded myself. Just get through it. Let her leave. We locked eyes in another silent standoff. "Take off your pants and lie down," she said, breaking the tension. I did as instructed and lay back on the bed, legs apart, feet touching, the same position I'd been in a dozen times during prenatal exams. But instead of stepping in close like every other care provider had, she stood at the foot of the bed by the door, arms crossed, eyes distant, as far away as she could get without entirely leaving the room. "Spread the skin," she said. I blinked. That was new, but I did it anyway. She squinted, tilted her head, and said flatly, "I don't see anything. Everything looks perfectly normal." What? I jerked forward, pressing my elbows into the bed to prop myself up. A wave of confusion crashed over me. How could she not see it? It was the size of a golf ball. "Mauro, can you see it?" I asked, my voice tight, desperate to cling to the thin illusion of reality. He hesitated. "I don't really see it anymore, but I'm no doctor," he shrugged. 1 second, my kettle is on. The perils of live reading. That made no sense, but I couldn't do this anymore. I sat up, pulled my pants back, and stood. It was over. I exhaled in relief as Carla turned and walked towards the hallway, but then she paused and turned back. My body, "Can I have a hug?" My body froze. A hug? Now? It was the furthest thing from my mind. I smiled out of habit. She leaned in. My stomach churned as her arms wrapped around me, making my skin crawl. Mauro led her downstairs. I closed the door behind them, letting my breath out in one long sigh. Finally, she was gone. But my thoughts spun. What was that? The coldness, the smugness, the dismissal. How could someone so belittling work in a caring profession? I thought back to our first meeting. Mauro and I had liked her. Both she and Amy had seemed more relaxed, more friendly. Sarah and Evelyn had been kind, but so textbook. At the time, we thought ease mattered more than knowledge. We were wrong. Knowledge and kindness were what we most needed, and they were in short supply. Later that evening, as I got ready for bed, I felt it again, the same dull throb. Something was hanging out, the skin pinched and tender. "Mauro, can you come here, please?" I called from the bathroom. He leaned against the doorway. "What is it? Can you check if it's there this time?" I sat on the toilet, legs apart, his face drew closer. Yes, it's definitely there, he said. You didn't see it earlier? I asked, my mind spinning. I don't think so, but maybe it slipped back in when you were lying down, he said. Should I take a photo? Yes. Finally, I had proof. I called her. Hi, Carla. Hi, MJ. Her voice was clipped, cold, and distant. She didn't sound pleased to hear from me. There's definitely something there, I said. Mado saw it, and we took a photo to show you. A pause. Then, look, she said. It's late. There's no point in me driving all the way over there, ruining both our sleep, only to get there and see nothing. But it's there. We have a photo. Like I said, there's really no point in coming over there only to find it isn't there, she repeated, her tone flat. Why don't we wait until morning? Then we'll both be well rested. And if it's still there in the morning, I can come and see you again. I bit my lip. Okay, that's fine. You sleep. We'll go to emergency. I didn't need her. What a relief that she didn't want to come. Women's College emergency is closed at night, she answered briskly. So again, she slowed her pace. I have to reiterate that there is no point in ruining our night's sleep. Let's just wait until morning, then emergency will be open again and we can all go there together. Okay, good night. I hung up. Less than a minute later, I felt something slide, followed by a small gloop as it hit the water of the toilet bowl. I stood up to look. There, swaying gently in the water, was a plum-sized blood clot, red and gelatinous, with a cherry-sized piece of pink tissue attached. Was that placenta? Evelyn had warned us that a clot that size was cause for concern. That's it, I said. We're going to emergency. Should we call Carla? Mado asked. No, she wants to sleep. My voice was flat and final. Just to let her know, he offered gently. No, she doesn't want to be involved, remember? I softened. I would call Sarah or Evelyn, but they're still unreachable. I scooped the clot and tissue into a Ziploc bag. This was proof. Finally, someone would have to take us seriously now. The filing system was chaos. The triage nurse told us to place our file in a tray, but the tray wasn't organized. New files were shoved in front or behind others at random. We waited for hours as people who arrived after us were called before us. Evelyn slept surprisingly well. Even under the bright hospital lights and the constant shuffle of feet, she barely stirred. We snacked on fruits and yogurt from home, which kept our energy up as we waited patiently. Eventually, a doctor picked up our file. He scanned it, then pointed to the only room with a door. Your assigned room is still occupied, he said, nodding towards it. But I think you'll want the privacy given the nature of the issue. He walked off. You should get some rest, Mauro said gently, concern in his voice. I leaned into him and closed my eyes. Finally, the private room opened. I laid down on the bed and passed out almost instantly. By the time the doctor returned, I struggled to wake up. My words were slow, slurred, and my tongue heavy with sleep. Is she under the influence? He asked, turning to Mauro. No, she's just exhausted, Mauro answered. He examined me gently. It's a prolapsed vaginal wall, he said. You'll need to see a specialist. There's not much emergency can do. He stepped back. It's rare at your age. I usually see this in elderly women with weak bladders. Try some Kegel exercises to strengthen those muscles. Mauro pulled out the Ziploc bag. The clot had started to liquefy, obscuring the small piece of tissue. The doctor glanced at it briefly. That's just a clot, nothing to worry about. I wasn't so sure. I didn't think he'd seen the tissue, but Mauro didn't press the issue and packed it back in the cooler. I got dressed and we headed to the car, tension buzzing between us. Why didn't you tell him about the tissue? I asked. He wasn't interested. Too tired to fight, I let it go. Outside, the sky was brilliant blue, laced with soft golden light. I gaped at the breathtaking beauty, then was jolted by surprise. It was almost 7 a.m. already. Evelyn had slept through the whole night, her first full night. Sadness pressed down on me. This wasn't how I'd imagined it. I'd chosen a home birth to keep her out of the hospital, and yet here we were, again, logging more hospital hours than if we'd gone the traditional route from the start. Still, at least the ER doctor hadn't made me feel stupid for saying I thought my cervix was falling out. And now we had confirmation that something was wrong. And that is the end of chapter 21 of my memoir, Rebirth. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you like and share. Make sure you leave feedback or thoughts, insights, anything moving through you in the comments so that I know you're here following along as I read. I really appreciate it. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next chapter.